what's the deal with trying to do keto if the saying is true, everything in moderation? Hi, in case you're new to this channel, I'm Slick Nick, your personal keto bro. And no, I am not a doctor, a dietitian, a nutritionist, or a personal trainer. I'm just some random guy with no agenda. I mean, a personal agenda. I'm turning 40 in a couple months, and I want to get down to 17% body fat, and I want to prove to myself, and by default, I suppose my 10,000 subscribers, whether this is a valid way of getting down to the body fat that I want to, and to truly fit into a size medium t-shirt from the bottom down, not just from the mid up. So let's go ahead and talk about this concept. See, reasonable people will say everything in moderation. That's the way to do it. Keto people, no, it's not at all about moderation. It's about extremes. See, I was a vegan also for 5.5 years too. And then age 35, I started gaining body fat. Ultimately, now I understand why. Because I was keeping my insulin raised because of eating healthy carbs, like oats and whole grain bread and bananas. I was eating healthy carbs, and my insulin was constantly spiked. Now I understand that better. So everything in moderation, that's what we're told to believe. But what you should do when you hear somebody say that, look at the person's physique. Are they fit? Not simply are they healthy, but are they fit? Because being fit is a sign of that you're actually healthy when you don't have that excess body fat. So being keto is about being extreme in the same way that being vegan was. And actually, I've made a video about this before. Vegan and keto are largely the same concept. You have to consume a whole lot of fiber, like leafy vegetables and broccoli and Brussels sprouts, etc. And you have to eat a whole lot of fat calories, nuts, seeds, avocados, things like that, coconut. So they have those things in common. Everything in moderation. But yet those people who say that and believe that typically are not fit people. So it's a matter of, we're not going to simply listen to what we've been told to do or told to believe, like the food pyramid, that we should mainly have most of our calories from carbs. Instead, we flip that upside down as keto followers and say, I'm part of the keto cult. I do things differently. So I'm actually going to make most of my calories fat, and then protein, and then maybe a little bit of carbohydrates. For me, that means between 25 and 50 carbohydrates a day, grams per day. Everything in moderation. It sounds good, it sounds reasonable, but is it working? It's funny, I just don't see how that's true, because even when you look at people who aren't keto, but they're fit, typically what they're doing is they're counting calories, and they're trying to consume typically however much they weigh in pounds, they're trying to equal in grams of protein. But even that's pretty extreme if you ask me. I say what I'm doing is keto is actually less extreme, but everything in moderation, no. Because what that's implying is that you could have just a little bit of carbohydrates every morning at 6 a.m. when you wake up. You could have a little bit of, just say, some sweetener in your coffee. Well, guess what? Now you're going to be storing fat pretty much the rest of the day, because by the time you eat again, you have more carbs than that. So you're constantly storing fat. Whereas somebody like me, I'm only allowing my insulin to get triggered at 2 p.m. when I eat for the first time, eat something other than MCT oil or butter, which does not spike insulin at all because it's pure fat. So for me, I'm only spiking my insulin starting at 2 p.m. and then my last meal ends at 7. So however long it takes to finish off from there, but most of the time I'm not storing fat, I'm burning fat. So everything in moderation. Who's saying that? Look at the people who say that. Are they fit? And are they healthy? I'm submitting to you they're not. It's the same concept of how many doctors are not healthy. They're clearly obese. You can tell that they're not healthy. So who would you listen to? The doctor who has a medical degree, but yet they're not fit and healthy? Or the random guy on the internet who has no kind of medical education, but is clearly seeing results work for him? Your comments belong right here.